Okay, good. We can start. Hello everyone, my name is Ghedin Alberto and I'm a solution architect of SpagoBI Lab and Engineering Big Data Competency Center. My main activities include the definition and development of new functionality of SpagoBI, BI consulting, training, and definition of big data architectures. Today we speak about the hottest theme of the last years and probably also of the next years, so big data. In the last period this argument takes place, so I'm not going to speak about Hadoop, NoSQL and all these technologies. But I'm going to show you how SpagoBI can manage these technologies and how SpagoBI can help you to handle big data, getting new information from them. So, today we see our smart approach on big data. So, how you can connect big data using SpagoBI, how you can get new information from big data, and how you can visualize big data in a meaningful graphical way. So, this comprehensive approach is our way to face big data. So, connect, process, and show. Let's start connecting to the data, okay? In SpagoBI, when we speak about data, we speak about datasets. A dataset is the repository of information. It can be the result of an interrogation, but also a file, a Java class, or the result of a web service. So, if you want to analyze a file, you can create a dataset simply uploading that file. If you want to create analysis on a data warehouse or a database, you create a dataset composed by a query on your data. So, through the dataset, you can create your visualization. So today we speak about big data, so we concentrate our attention on big data data sources, such as Hadoop and NoSQL databases. The most common way to connect SpagoBI to a data source is via JDBC driver. And it's really very easy to connect SpagoBI to a DB that provides this driver. And all the most common databases and query engines like Ivy, Impala, Cassandra, OrinDB, Neo4j provide this driver. But the JDBC is not the only way. SpagoBI supports connectors and supply connectors also for other types of data sources such as MongoDB. In fact, you can create a dataset on MongoDB on SpagoBI dataset for connect to MongoDB using its native languages, so this JavaScript. So, speaking about big data, you can connect SpagoBI to Hadoop using Ivy or Impala or HBase, and also to the most common NoSQL database such as OrinDB, Neo4j, MongoDB, Cassandra. Okay, let's try to build a dataset on MongoDB. So let me open SpagoBI. Okay, not this one. Let me pick. Okay, let me enter with the administration tool. And let me open the dataset catalog. Okay, this is our dataset catalog, and here we have all the datasets. In the right part, we have the information of the dataset. So some simple information like the label, the name, the description, and some profile information. And then the core of the dataset, so the query now in this case. As you can see, there are several types of dataset, as I told you before. We have the file, the query, the Java class, the web service, the script, the query by example, then we'll see later, and the custom or the connection to a flat table. In this case, we have a query on a MongoDB data source. Here I have the query. This is a very, very simple query where I simply create a collection of documents, of 2 documents, and if I see the preview, the result of the dataset, I see that I can see the collection. Sorry. Okay. I can see the collection, but I can also have a query on a collection. Here you have store, the collection store, and I get all the stores, with the store ID less than 20 and greater than 0. If I go in the preview, I can see the result. So all the stores with the ID between 1 and 19. Okay, so because 0 and 20 were accepted. Okay, but I can create also more complex query like this one, where I aggregate, I apply some group and some aggregation function on a collection, and then I also apply some transformation using JavaScript core code. Here, for example, I have a for loop. So if you ever try MongoDB, the language is JavaScript, so you can do whatever you want with JavaScript. And so here I have a query. Okay, of course, this example is of MongoDB, so the language is JavaScript. If I use Ivy, the language is Ivy SQL. If I use Neo4j, the language is Cypher. And so here I have to write the code, the language for the database which I'm connecting on. Okay, so let me come back to the slides. Okay. In this slide, we can see some more features of the datasets. The most important is the behavioral model. The behavioral model is the core of the security in SpagoBI and regulates visibility over documents and data according to the end-user rules. It can be applied also to the dataset, filtering the data according to the user that is loading the information. The dataset can be also scheduled. So if you have a very heavy query, you can run it in the night, for instance, instead of running in the same moment when you open the document. Okay? But you can also persist the result of a query, and in this way, the next interrogation can be very quickly. You can get the result very quickly. Another solution is to keep the result in memory using our brand new in-memory cockpit. Another type of interaction with data is the semantic analysis. In SpagoBI, you can connect to semantic database such as Neo4j or ORMDB and query the data using Cypher, Gremlin, or Traverse query language. At this moment, we are also developing a tool that allows the user to perform queries on ontologies using Sparkle. Once you have the data, you can visualize them using dashboards or the network analysis engine that is more suitable to interact with graph. Okay, here this is the result of this is a network analysis. Okay, good. So we have the data, and then what? Do we have the chance to manage this data, to create subsets of data? The answer is yes, of course. With the query by example engine, the user can open a data set and create other data sets on it, simply using the drag and drop. For example, suppose I have created a data set that returns the result of the elaboration of my cluster's log files, and I want to make some statistics on the lines with error code 404, and I want to group them by IP address. Okay, I can do that in a few seconds with a few numbers of clicks. Okay, we will see something about that later, a simple demo. Okay, so we have the data, now we should visualize them. There are several choices for the visualization. One of them is the ad hoc reporting. With this tool, the final user can build its own documents starting from a dataset and using a very simple web interface. At this moment, we provide 3 tools for the doc reporting. One of them is the worksheet, that is a collection of widgets. And these widgets can be charts, pivot table, tables, and here we have an example. This is the designer of the worksheet, and we will have the demo in a few minutes for this thing. And here we have the result, a document created with the worksheet. Then we have the GeoEngine to visualize geographical data, and from version 5 we have also the in-memory cockpit that allows the final user to build its document using various widgets. And here I have an example. So this is a cockpit, and as you can see, it's the composition of different documents. The design is very similar to the one of the worksheet that we are going to see now. So let me enter with the final user, so the business user, and let me open the My Data section. Here I have the list of all the data, all the data sets where the user can use to create his own documents. Okay, so this data set is the same one we saw before, created on MongoDB, the one that showed the stores. So I can open it, and I can create my own visualization, my own documents, because I'm a final user. I have this data, and I want to create my documents on this data. And so, for instance, I want to see the distribution of the square feet of my stores. So let me take a bar chart, and then let me take the grocery square feet, frozen square feet, the meat square feet, and I want to group them by store state, for instance. Okay. I want to use the stacked graph, so I can go in the preview. And here I have a very simple visualization where I can see the distribution of the square feet inside my shops and in my store. And so I can see that in Guerrero there is not so much space for meat, but a lot of space for grocery, more than we have in Yucatan, for instance. Okay. I can say, okay, this is my aggregated data, but I want to see the details. So I can say, okay, I have this widget, but I can create another widget, for instance, a table. So I have two sheets, one with the aggregated values and one for the details. So I can say, okay, I want to see details of grocery, frozen, meat, for all the stores. Store name, okay. Okay, I can go in the preview. And here I still have the same bar chart of before, but I have a second sheet with the details for all the shops. Of course, I can also add some text or some title, and I can do that very simple in this way. I can change the layout, and here I can say, okay, aggregation. I can use the bolt, I can put in the middle, I can, okay, and that's it. I go in the preview. Of course, I will have this title. Okay, so I can put some layout, some graphics in this very simple chart. So the final user can create his own chart, and when he have already created the chart, the document, he can save it, and so open the next time he enters in SpagoBI, he can open the document he created. Okay, let me do that. First, doc, save. Okay, good. So if I open my analysis, my list of documents, I have my first document. Okay, good. So let me go back to the slides. Okay, we were there. So this was doc reporting, but in SpagoBI we have also all the enterprise reporting rich visualizations, such as reports using BERT or Jasper or OLAP or network analysis. We have real-time consoles, KPI, mobile dashboard, charts, and so on. Okay. Now we can see this slide that is the summary of this first part of the webinar. So we have our big data sources, and we collect data using the data sets. Then we have different choices. We can create a worksheet, a doc reporting, or an enterprise document. So the doc reporting are the documents created by the final user. The enterprise reporting is the report created by a developer. So the final user can only see those reports. So if a developer creates a document, the final user can see that document. And as I said you before, they can be also very complex, like all up pivot table or KPI. Then what you can do is, from this data set, you can create other data set with the query by example. So you have your data set, you can create more data sets. And you can persist your data, okay? You can persist your data sets, and you can also keep it in memory and use our cockpit engine. Let me show you something about the query by example. So suppose I have this, I'm a final user, and I've already created this chart, but I also want to see the data only for the United States. So I want to filter my data. I want to change my data set. What can I do? I can go back, return my data. I can open my store data set, and I can click in SpagoBI. Here I have my data set. Okay. And what I can do is say, okay, I want to see the average of the square feet of my stores only for United States. So what can I do? I can take stores, square feet. I can take store name. I can group, because I want to group for store name, and I want the average of the square feet. But I saw that I told you that I want to filter and get only the data for United States. So I must take the store country, and it must be equal to, to United States. Confirm, and I can go in the preview. And here I have the data only for the United States. And now I can save this data set, and this will be another data set that the user can use to create its own document on, or I can go and create another document in this data set I have already created. So these are my fields, because my query returns only square feet and store name, and I can say, okay, good, I want a pie chart, and I want to see the distribution of the square feet, the average of the store of the square feet for my stores in the United States. Okay, maybe it's better if I add some other information like show values, show percentage, so I have more information, also show legend. Okay, here I am. I have the store names, and I have the values. So with this chart, I can see that store number 3 has more square feet. Okay. Now we can go back and return to the slides. Okay, good. So SpagoBI seems to be a very good visualization tool, but of course it's not only a visualization tool. SpagoBI can analyze data and apply statistics and data mining functions, and it can do that with the data mining engine. And here we have an example. This engine allows you to apply data mining algorithm and on your data using R scripts. Okay, so let's talk in a very high level about the feature of this engine. The most important feature, of course, is the ability to execute multiple scripts. On these scripts, you can define different outputs. For example, we can have text or charts. In this example, we have one script. here. This is the name of the script, and this is all the type of outputs, okay? As you can see, you have a very simple interface that allows you to manage scripts, okay? So, clicking in this tab, you can select scripts. Clicking this part, you can select the outputs of the selected script. As usual, R can take data from files, but with this engine, it's very easy to collect data from SpagoBI datasets. For example, you can apply data mining algorithm on Hive datasets. This is a SpagoBI document, and so it's integrated with the behavioral model, and so you can profile the data. One application of the data mining engine is the search analysis engine, and here it is. You cannot find it in version 5, but we'll release it in the next version that will probably release on December, okay? So SpagoBI 5 is the only open source product that provides social listening, and for social listening we mean that the engine allows the user to search for tweeters or connect to Twitter and record the streams of new tweets about certain topics, hashtag, accounts, and so on. All these tweets are elaborated by our algorithms, and the result of the calculation is displayed in various visualizations. Here we can see the graphical user interface where the final user can enter the information for the search. And here we have some visualization that you can have using this engine. Here, for example, you have the sentiment analysis, okay, where algorithm explains the sentiment around a certain topic or account. You have visualization for the location of the tweets about a specific search, okay, like this one. You have a graph representation of accounts that tweets, retweets, replay, and the relations between these accounts, like this one. We have information about the devices and the application used to tweet. And you also have the word clouds of hashtagging, mention, and topics, okay? So you have different ways to analyze trends and topics. But social doesn't mean only Twitter. You can, for instance, create and perform a campaign evaluation. Suppose you have launched a new product and you have a website that promotes it. You can create a search that monitors the website and informs you in real time about the number of visitors. Then you can aggregate also the data using SpagoBI custom documents. So this new engine is very powerful because it can gather the social listening, execute complex data mining algorithms, and show the result in different ways. So let me summarize what SpagoBI can do with your big data. SpagoBI can read your data, your big data, from Hadoop or from your NoSQL databases. It can also listen from social and from semantic structures such as semantic database or ontology. SpagoBI represents interrogation with datasets. This object allows you to rework, to filter, or aggregate data in a graphical way using the query by example. Then you can apply some statistics and data mining algorithms using the data mining engine. And finally, SpagoBI allows you to create complex analysis using the enterprise reporting and so all the available engines such as dashboard, reports, API, online analysis, real-time dashboard, mobile, and so on. But also final user can create their own documents using the worksheet and the cockpit. Okay, today we have had only a preview, a taste of the potentialities of SpagoBI and big data. You can find all the information in our wiki, and to find it just Google SpagoBI wiki, or you can go in our website and ask for more information. And okay, what's next? The first thing we should do is to connect SpagoBI with Spark SQL. This because, as you know, Spark is becoming a standard in the big data world. And so I think this should be very easy because Spark provides a full Spark SQL provides a full implementation of the Jellyfish driver. So I think it will not a dark job at all. Then we want to work on the connection to real-time and streaming processor like Storm or Spark Streaming. Another goal is to build a SpagoBI for big data release. So an all-in-one built on top of Hadoop with different NoSQL database and specific documents. So in this way, it will be very easy for you to test our ability to handle big data. Finally, we will for sure continue to work on our engines in order to add more advanced and predictive analysis. Okay, that's it. So, if you have any question, you can write it in the chat and I'll be very pleased to answer you. Okay? Okay, so no question. So everything is clear. So thank you very much to listen us, and please stay tuned because next month we will release version 5.1, and follow us on Twitter with SpagoBI or Alberto Ghedin. Okay, thank you for listening and bye.